Hey there you, welcome to my gaming corner. My name is Panagirl and I invite you to sit, relax and stay a while and give me the chance to make you smile. Welcome back to Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot's First Cases. We still have to solve this murder and I'm very curious who done it, so let's get going. Interesting. The secret? Ooh. Whose secret? A restless sleep combined with the image of the eerie figure in the snow has only convoluted what my little grey cells must consider. I should not have expected this to be a simple case. I have been lied to by at least one of the guests. Their alibis all confirm each other's, but I know this is not to be true. Interesting. So we have a new mind map. How the Major was involved with the blackmail eludes me for now. Once I have confirmed whether he was the author or recipient, I can consider my next step in my investigation. Okay. Let's talk to him, I guess.
Good morning, Detective. You slept well?
Oh yeah, he just went to bed. He just went to bed knowing that there was a killer on the loose.
I'm afraid I did not. I was hoping for at least a moment of pleasant slumber, but alas, it was not to be.
Yeah, because you... Never mind, whatever.
Finding the Major's killer is the only thing that will put my mind at ease.
Yeah, so, okay, it's fine. You know what? It's fine.
In that case, Detective, what can I do to help?
I don't know. Oh yeah, we can do this. While watching the snowfall last night, I swear I saw the silhouette of a figure standing in the garden.
In that snow? If someone was out there, we'd have another body on our hands.
Ugh.
I realize how strange it sounds. I would not believe it myself if I had not seen it with my own eyes.
I saw it too, and I recorded it, so...
Staff have
Archie.
reported seeing things in the dark before, but it always just turns out to be shadows. It was likely just your mind playing tricks.
I don't know. It looked like a person. I did not see Mademoiselle Elizabeth last night. Ooh.
I'm afraid our Lizzie is not well.
Oh.
I think the events of yesterday were too much for her. We'll have to just make do without her this morning.
Oh, he looks genuinely sad.
As Wordsworth once stated, rest and be thankful. Perhaps a chance of peace and relaxation will work wonders.
Sometimes all we need to do is rest. I'd also like to speak with Madame Van den Bosch at her earliest convenience. Maybe he does. I don't want to talk to her.
She is currently eating breakfast alone in the dining room. It's how she prefers it. But if you wish to speak with her now...
I don't know, and that seems like a really bad idea. It is important I speak with her, but perhaps it is better to allow her to finish. I do not wish to upset her before I have even asked my first question. Quite. I could perhaps investigate the garden for any evidence of a figure from last night. Yes. We'll do that, rather. Would you permit me access to the house's telephone?
I would, but I'm afraid I found this morning that the telephone lines aren't working. The snow continued through the night and must have damaged them.
I don't know, seems like someone cut the telephone cord.
Even if we could use the telephone, I don't think anyone would be able to reach us.
Because of the snow? Okay.
In that case, it will be up to myself alone to solve the case.
Oh, you can do it. You got this,
I'll let
bro.
you know if anything changes. But until some of the snow clears, enough for the carriages to arrive, we are snowed in.
Although I am not able to call upon or leave the house to find help from the local authorities, it also means none of the guests are able to leave. That is quite true. I have until the snow clears to find not only Mademoiselle Angeline's blackmailer, but also the Major's killer. I think that it's not the same person. I think it might be two different people. Or it might be two people working together. The Major's body...
Taken care of. Master Dremere and his brother, after sobering up, helped me move him into the cellar. Best place for the time being.
That's terrible for them to have to do. Shame.
Très bien. I imagine there is no reason for anyone to go down there.
Except maybe the one brother, Zach, if he wants to have more wine.
Besides me, no one. Once this snow clears, we will be able to move him from the house.
I hope it doesn't start stinking.
Your assistance has been most valuable as always.
It would suck if it starts thinking. Okay, what you want me to do? Inspect the garden, talk to Cassandra. Cool, that's it. Okay, cool. Let's go to the garden then, I guess. To the garden. Ooh. Isn't that Angeline? Finding evidence of the figure from last night will, on one hand, confirm I am not seeing things as Monsieur Sterling suggested, but on the other hand, pose even more questions that must be answered. It looks like it's gonna be very cold, bro. Let me go back inside. Nope, okay. Expensive lighter.
Oh.
A well-made lighter with the insignia of a military regiment. That sounds like it may have been either the Major or even Zachariah, because he was also in the military, wasn't he? Don't you want to pick it up? Okay, never mind. Faint footprints. In the snow! No ways. There's a small trail of footprints in the snow. The Major was seen walking around here yesterday. Interesting. We'll go left first and then we'll go around maybe. I don't see anything over here. But this is where we saw them, isn't it? Oh, shame, bro. Holden bird feeder? He did a little twirl. It has almost disappeared in the snow. I doubt we will see too many birds in these conditions. Oh, shame for birdies. I hope that they're okay. Maybe they're like hibernating or something. I don't know. Do birds hibernate? I don't even know. Probably certain birds. I don't know. I'm no David Attenborough. Exit is impossible? Okay. Can we have a look at that?
Huh.
The house is completely snowed in. It does not look like we shall be going anywhere anytime soon. The snow is still falling and I am hardly dressed for the occasion. Perhaps Madame van den Bosch has finished her breakfast and is ready to answer my questions. Okay, so I guess that we found all of the things that we needed to find. Those shoes though, I love his shoes. Angeline, are you okay?
Good morning, Detective. I hope you were comfortable last night.
No.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. The room was more than pleasant, merci. I'm afraid my mind was not in a state to enjoy it to its full potential, though.
He has much more grace to answer her than I would have.
I can't imagine any of us slept soundly last night.
Especially thinking about the fact that there's a killer on the loose. Probably not, no.
Hopefully guilt will be weighing heavily on someone's shoulders this morning.
Probably not, no. Perhaps on more than one set. Yes, you keep saying that.
I was not much help last night, Detective.
No, you helped a lot.
On the contrary, your inside knowledge of the guests was of great help to my investigation. But there are many more questions that require answers.
What are your feelings towards the Major's position in the house? Ooh.
His position? You mean about him living here?
About him having the influence that he has.
Oui, even in a house this size, you must see a lot of each other.
I enjoyed having him here. When I was away with Gideon,
All right, she really likes him.
Not alone. Although his work with Mr. Da Silva has kept him away from the house of late.
Interesting. I thought that Da Silva said he didn't want to work with him.
What can you tell me about their relationship, working or otherwise?
There is not much to tell, only that there is no love lost between them.
You know what their business entailed?
He was always quite private about his work. I know that he was helping Mr. Da Silva with some safety matters.
Safety matters.
I found a check addressed to the Major from Monsieur Da Silva. It noted security consulting.
Ah, that's right, security. With his military training, he helped Mr. Da Silva prepare for any trouble with the strikes.
Right. Although the Major's death has taken precedence, there has been a development in the blackmail case. Ooh.
A development? Oh, Detective, I knew I could count on you.
Aww. She's so sweet. I like her.
It may not be the news you had wished for, though. Another letter has been found.
Addressed to me? I don't know how much more I can take of this.
Oh no, we're gonna break her heart by telling her that it may have been the Major.
Pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle. Although it has been written in the same manner, using similar phraseology, it was not sent for your eyes, rather the Major's. Or at least that is how it seems.
Yep, for sure.
I'm sorry, Detective, I don't understand. It is addressed to him or not?
It is.
I found it in the Major's study yesterday while conducting my preliminary search. Whether he is the author of the letter or the recipient, I am still yet to discover.
He was probably the recipient, though. Could the Major have been behind the blackmail?
Heavens no. He could not do that.
How do you know? I don't think that you know him well enough. I think you know him well.
You did not hesitate for a moment.
Why would he do such a thing? And then to send a letter to himself. It just doesn't make sense.
Because he didn't have any money.
Merci for your time, mademoiselle. You are to a detective what an umbrella is to a traveler on a wet day.
Oh! He's so sweet! I would love to be told that. My goodness, you are so charming.
Useful?
Exactement.
Useful? Exactement. Do we have something to do? We have one connection to make. Alrighty, so Angeline disputes the Major being Black Mirror. Okay. Gideon paid it off. Angeline knew the Major well. Brothers moved the body. Ransom value.
I must take a different approach if I am...
Okay. I was not right about that. What about this?
Come, my little grey cells.
Oh, wait.
What a
That
revelation!
works. Yeah. One can't be surprised with Angeline and Felix's bond. He's been a figure in her life for so long. But how well do you know him, Angeline? How well do you know him? I think she would like to think that she knows him quite well, but I don't think that she does know him as well as she thinks she does. Let's speak to
Bonjour,
Gideon
Monsieur Demir.
before we go and speak to Cassandra, because I really don't want to speak to Cassandra.
Detective Poirot, how are you?
The truth, monsieur. With each step towards uncovering the blackmailer, I am thrown 2 steps back as to the identity of the Major's killer.
Is there something I can help you with?
Yes, please be honest, and tell other people to please be honest. After investigating the crime scene yesterday, I asked Monsieur Sterling to move the body.
Archibald came to me and asked for my help in the matter. My brother and I dealt with it.
Merci for your help. It is a job that only the professionals should have to undertake.
Quiet.
It's a job that had to be done. Although it may have affected my brother more than I.
Really? Maybe some PTSD from war and
How
stuff.
so?
At the sight of the body, the color drained from his face. Once we had reached the cellar, Zachariah took himself straight off to bed, without even a good night.
So it was definitely not Zach who killed him. While in the study, I noticed the Major's safe is locked. Would you know who has access?
Felix and Madame Vandenbosch are the only ones with keys, as far as I'm aware. Oh, and Archibald. I'm sure I heard Felix asking him to return something to it once.
I feel like Archie knows more than he lets on. I think I know he knows more. I wonder why Monsieur Sterling did not mention this previously. Have you spoken with your brother this morning?
I have not seen him since last night. I'm sure he will have been fine after a good night's sleep.
I don't know, he might be a little hungover. I imagine the alcohol would have acted as a sufficient sleeping aid. Yeah, probably.
He does not need his younger brother checking in on him.
Oh.
Perhaps that is exactly what he requires.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he needs some family.
I'm not sure what he told you yesterday, Detective, but he's a big boy. He can look after himself.
Yeah, but you always need some support, you know? You could always use some support, even if you are, like, a little bit older and more matured. I think that you still deserve some support.
I worry that may not be the case, monsieur. His time in the war came up in conversation more than once during our conversations.
Yeah.
He's still talking about it. I thought talking to the doctor would have stopped all of that.
No, he's not okay, bro. You need to be there for your brother.
Merci.
Okay. Can we make any more connections? Yes, we can. That's exciting. Zachariah was shocked by the Major's corpse, was therapized after the war, claims Archibald has access. So I think probably these two, yeah. I've heard of men returning physically from the war, but their minds remained on the battlefield. Yeah. Aww. I felt really bad for him. Shame, the poor dude. Talk to Gideon again.
If it will help you find...
Your brother was seeing a doctor?
When he returned from the war, he was a different man.
Yeah, of course.
Everything became about what he had seen.
Of course.
I cannot speak from experience, but I can only imagine the horrors he must have witnessed.
For sure.
The first weeks he would wake in the night, screaming. I found him one night, cowering behind the desk in the study. When I tried to help him out from beneath it, well, it was the first time I had ever feared for my life.
Aww.
That is not why you two are no longer close?
And not at all, Detective. We were always very different in nature. While I had always wanted to follow an academic path, Zachariah was more of a free spirit. Or at least as free as our father and the laws would allow.
And yet, he ended up in the military. Quite the contrast.
Our father demanded that he at least try to do something with his life. And when some of his friends joined the army, he signed up with them.
Shame. And when you do it with your friends as well. Oh, that must be so terrible.
It wasn't long before he moved out from the family home after his return from the army. I always assumed that he had put the war and everything that came with it behind him and was moving on. But now I see that is far from the truth.
Oh, that's so sad. I feel so sorry for him. Shame, the poor guy. Oh, poor Zach. I feel really bad. Shame.
Countess, I wonder if I could ask you some questions.
That is it, detective? No small talk? No inflating of one's ego?
What's up with you?
I am afraid not, Countess. With the murderer still loose in the house, my mind is rather preoccupied.
Like, have you forgotten what's happened in the past 24 hours?
Well then, detective, perhaps I can be of some assistance.
Comment, madame?
I thought you might like to know what I found on the Major's body.
Why were you close to the body? I demand to know who gave you permission to see the Major's body.
That certainly piqued your interest.
What are you up to? All of a sudden I don't like her anymore.
A man has been murdered, and you find it acceptable to fool around and joke.
Oh, please, detective. Do you really think so little of me? Archibald asked for my assistance. He knows of my medical training from my days as a nurse, and I thought I would be able to help. Even if it has been some years.
So why can't you just be like straightforward about it? Why do you have to beat around the bush? You are acting so shady. So
It was
shady.
not his place to grant you access to the body.
Yeah, he's the only official person.
I shall remember to keep my assistance to myself next time.
Oh my goodness. Well, she's annoying. What did you discover on the body?
A single stab wound, which you no doubt already knew. The knife was held in their right hand. I would say their predominant
Okay,
hand.
so as someone who's right-handed. I pride myself on order and method, and this is far from either. I suspect in a murder investigation has examined the very victim that they are suspected of killing. It is like something out of a crime novel. A suspect in a murder investigation has examined the very victim that they are suspected of killing. Quite. Why would I believe anything that you're saying?
Judging by the depth of the wound, I would say there was no great force put into the strike. More a sign of defense than attack.
That's what she's trying to say, that whoever killed him, it was defense, whereas everything that he found pointed to otherwise.
If I had to say what weapon was used, a small sharp knife or dagger.
Nah, dude. This may confirm my suspicions of the mage's knife being used to kill him. I don't know if you should listen to anything she's saying.
It may be difficult for one to keep such information to yourself, but I ask you to try. Your involvement has already tainted my investigation.
Quite.
You are welcome, detective.
I don't like you anymore. You have way too many things, egos and things. When my superior officer hears of the goings-on in this house, I will surely be seeing the garden fields of the countryside once more. I must do all I can to redeem the reputation I have worked to build, starting with finding the killer. Quite.
S'il vous plaît, Comtesse. Keep this information to yourself.
She's not going to. She's literally like the village, like, gossip. She's gonna tell everyone. I don't think you should believe anything she's saying. I think she's trying to throw you off of her trail. That's what I think she's doing. So I think you need to keep your head on your shoulders and remember who you are. Remember, like, what you're here for, dude. And, like, don't let anyone get to you. Don't let anyone get in your head. Okay. Let's go talk to the Comtesse. No, not the Comtesse. The Cassandra. While I must speak with Madame van den Bosch, I should also take this opportunity to talk to Mademoiselle Rahana in the kitchen. Okay. Is she still here? She's still here. Should I go? This is the salon. Where's the kitchen? Do I have to go very far in order to get to the kitchen? Yes, okay. I have to go to a different room. So let's go to the kitchen first and talk to Rahana. Before we talk to... So we talk to absolutely everyone before we talk to Cassandra because I don't want to... Wow! Look at these. These look so yummy. Oh my gosh. And everything is so fresh and so pretty. Wow. Everything looks great. And this looks like the Beauty and the Beast pot. It's so cute. Okay, let's talk to Rahana.
Bonjour, madame. You must be the wonderful cook.
Ooh, flattery.
Wonderful and modest, sir. I am Rihanna.
Good.
My taste buds thank you for the ravishing meal last night. It has been some time since I ate so well.
Aww.
Glad to hear it, sir.
S'il te plaît, madame. A detective is fine.
In that case, mademoiselle is fine for me, and I will ignore your presumption of marriage.
What?
Très bon, mademoiselle.
You have been with the Van den Bosch family for quite some time.
That's right. I've seen staff come and go, but a house always needs a trustworthy cook.
I wish that I could have my own private cook.
I agree. But if I was to eat what you prepare every day, I fear I may be the size of la maison.
The house.
Not a bad thing, detective. You could do with some meat on your bones.
Oh, she's so cute. I like her.
Well, with the snow still not clearing, we may be stuck here for the weekend. Perhaps I should look to adjust my pantalon buttons.
That's so cute. She's so adorable. I understand you took some ice to the Major yesterday?
I did. Monsieur Archie told me what had happened. Bruises can swell fast, so I took him some ice to bring it down.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Strange, Monsieur Sterling told me it was the Major that requested the ice. I think that Archie is up to no good.
How was the Major when you saw him?
Grumpy, as always.
I suppose one would not take kindly to being punched as he was.
No. Unless you're in, like, some kind of, like, boxing match or something.
Punched or not, he was as ungrateful as ever.
Unfortunately, I think that's the person that he is.
I shall not keep you any longer. Merci, mademoiselle.
Oh, she's sweet. I like her. Oh, she can stay. Any links? Nope. Okay. Well, let's go to the dining room. Ugh. Let's get this over with. I hate talking to Cassandra, I really do. She's so rude. But I guess we'll do it.
Bonjour, madame. May I offer my condolences for your loss?
Your loss? Oh, of her friend?
Thank you, Detective, but they are not necessary. What can I do for you?
She's awfully, like, chipper and, like, composed.
I was hoping you would be prepared to answer some questions.
If I must.
If I must. Why would someone want to kill the Major?
I'm sure you're aware he was not the easiest man to get along with. His hot temper made him a number of foes.
Okay, so she knows as well. Okay, that's good.
A hot temper is reason enough to kill a man.
His mouth often acted before his brain. Perhaps someone had grown tired
Ooh. You suggested why someone might kill him, but who do you believe would do it?
Seeing as I heard Mr. Becker's in what I would describe as an unnecessarily loud exchange of words yesterday, he would be my first suspect.
He's the guy, okay, that was talking to the reporter, right?
You heard them yourself.
How could I not? The volume they were shouting at, I could hear them from the study in my room.
From the study? But you were in the salon.
You did not think it fitting to tell me this yesterday?
I didn't think Felix was going to wind up dead and a murderer loose in my house. My apologies, Detective.
Ugh, gross. Although I must learn more of this argument, it is not Madame that I expect the answers to come from, rather Monsieur Becker's. He has a great deal of explaining to do. I think so too. And now that there's a murder, I feel like he has to tell you, right? A letter was found in the Major's study.
I assume you are talking about the supposed blackmail letter.
Oui, madame. You know of it?
It arrived shortly after the first. Rather coincidental, if you ask me.
That is pretty weird.
I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say, madame.
He no doubt had secrets hidden away. But do you honestly think Felix had anything of value to his name worth threatening him for?
Is that why they threatened both of them at the same time? I'm very
Perhaps
confused.
you should enlighten me.
Well, he was here, living in my house, eating my food, prepared by my staff. Does that answer your question, Detective?
No. How do you think the Major came to have the letter?
I wouldn't put it past him to have written it himself, in the hopes of getting some sympathy from me.
Interesting.
And the other letters?
He probably wrote those too. If Angeline paid the first, that would have given him the money to pay the second letter. He is the White Knight, saves the day, and expects to live here happily ever after.
Interesting. I did not expect Madame Van der Bosch to be so blunt with her thoughts towards the Major. I was under the impression there was more to their friendship, not less. I was also, like, I'm starting to think, like, why was he here? I don't understand. No one liked him, except Angeline. She's the only person that liked him. Why was he here then? It is quite the nefarious plan that Madame has laid out for the Major. I'm not sure I can believe he would go to such levels of deceit. I'm sure Mademoiselle Angeline will have an opinion on the matter. I had the same thought though, to be honest. I'd like to ask you about Monsieur de Silva.
What is it you wish to know?
Oh my gosh.
You two have been friends for some time now. And while I do not mean to pry, has your relationship only...
If you are trying to insinuate that Mr. de Silva and I are running around like schoolchildren, you could not be further from the truth. He was friends with my husband, for goodness sake.
That hasn't stopped a lot of people.
Oui, I understand they worked together. Investments, if I am correct.
Also, like, with your husband's death, wouldn't you have found, like, some solace in his friend who knew him because both of you were very sad about it? I don't know, that seems like the perfect setup for it.
Mr. de Silva was the voice of reason that my husband should have listened to more often, instead of throwing our money at businesses that were already on the verge of bankruptcy.
Interesting. Okay.
Merci, madame.
I've gathered all I need from Madame van den Bosch and Mademoiselle Rohan. I should return to the Great Hall. Alrighty. I just want to do a little bit of snooping over here. Ooh, nope, not yet. I want to have a look at some stuff here. Who's this? Madame van den Bosch's collection of art extends further than just paintings. How insightful of you. Oh, disputes the major being the blackmailer. Oh,
The pieces of the puzzle.
interesting. Angeline and Cassandra have different impressions of the major. There must be a reason for this. Interesting. Conflicting. Talk to Angeline. Okay. So that's the only thing we need to do still is talk to Angeline. Okay. Okay, now we can talk to her. There we go.
Is there something I can...
Your mama did not describe her friendship with the major in such a positive light.
You have got the wrong end of the stick, detective. Maman has snapped at him recently, but it was nothing more than that.
But wouldn't she snap back after he died?
It was something to do with the letter. I heard them in the library before Maman shouted and he stormed out of the room past me.
Could it have been the blackmail letter that instigated their argument?
Why would Maman be upset with him over the letter?
Madame is of a very different opinion from yourself regarding his connection with the letters. She believes him to be the author.
That is what she told you? She has always been one to make a quick, if not rash decision, but she cannot truly believe that.
Was the major aware you had paid the first blackmail letter?
I don't recall telling him directly. I did not want Maman to find out it had been paid. If he knew, surely she would.
Madame believes he may have been behind all the letters, and taking your payment of the first, then used it to pay the second and be the hero in you and your mother's eyes.
I never knew Maman had such an imagination. Where would she get a story like that from?
I don't know, he was not a very nice person. I feel like you're just very naive still.
That is a question I was hoping you may be able to answer.
You have met him. Do you really think he's capable of such a devious plan?
I feel like you shouldn't ask him. Out of all the people, you really shouldn't be asking Poirot. He literally, ruined his career.
It is a plan only the most crooked and underhanded could create. Is that the major? I am not so sure.
I think it might have been. The more I think on Madame's story, the more ridiculous and obscure it sounds, but that does not mean it can be ruled out quite.
I shall not keep you any longer. Merci, mademoiselle.
Interesting. Any connections? Yes. Okay. Angeline's question Cassandra's reasoning for them because she was happy with
This
him.
will not get me any closer to...
Wasn't happy with the major?
Magnifique.
I don't know how that was. I wonder if the blackmail had a greater effect on their relationship than expected. Talk to Angeline. Interesting. Wait. Is there anything here? Nothing. Alrighty. Talk to Angeline again. Just a little.
Something I can help?
Was the arrival of the blackmail letter what caused the tension in Madame and Major's relationship?
I'm afraid it had been that way for some time. Maman is not forthcoming with her emotions, as I'm sure you are aware. But I could tell she had not been happy with their arrangement for the last few months.
Okay.
What gave you that impression?
Maybe he was scared then that she was gonna kick him out. So he wrote the letter so that he would have some kind of money, so that if she kicked him out, he would have some money.
There was not one particular thing that she expressed. It was just the way she spoke to him and of him when he wasn't present.
Okay.
I shall not keep you any longer.
I believe I have gathered everything that is required. Monsieur Sterling will be able to assist me in gaining access to the major's study. Alrighty. So talk to Archie. I don't trust you, bro.
Whatever you need, Detective.
I wish to inspect the Major's study again.
Certainly, Detective.
Give me the key. This room is still a crime scene and should have remained untouched, but it looks as though it has been ransacked. Why? What are people doing? I requested Monsieur Sterling to have the body wrapped and moved, which has been done, thankfully. What else has gone on in here? Dude, that is not okay. What is this? Someone was obviously looking for something in particular in the Major's documents. These accounts have been thoroughly rifled through. The Major has recently taken out a large loan and the interest rate is astronomical. Oh dear. Maybe that's why he needed the money for the loan. Empty envelopes of all the letters. The safe is open. Addressed to the Major with no return address. The safe is open. How strange. I could not access this yesterday, but now it has been left wide open. Scratches are obvious around the lock. Someone in this house was eager to see the safe's contents. Okay, so there was no key. So it's not someone who has a key. A half-sealed letter addressed to Madame van den Bosch from the Major. I'm not one to read others' private mail, but under the circumstances... My dearest Cassandra, it feels as though it has been an age since I've been able to set my eyes on you. A day I have waited for so impatiently. I keep the photograph of us together at the lake close to my heart, always. I cannot wait to see how young Angeline has grown. Her beauty will surely soon reach that of her mother's. I hope the gift from the Orient reached you fine. They are really something to behold. The work that has kept me away for so long is drawing to a close, and I will be returning to the continent within the month. At your request, I have found accommodation in the city. It pains me to think of being so close and yet unable to be with you every moment, but if it eases your worry, I shall not continue to question it. I will arrange for a visit to the house. An old friend returning will surely raise minimal suspicions. I understand that the Viscount is also currently out of country. I hope you have not felt the strain of loneliness take over, and it will not be long until we are reunited. Until that day, until the end of mine, my heart is yours, Major Felix Hagen. So they had a relationship while she was with the Viscount? It seems there is a great deal of Madame van den Bosch and the Major's relationship that she has withheld, very much so. It is clear from this letter that their affection for one another has been more than that of friendship for some time. The mention of young Angeline suggests it may go back as far as 20 years. Angeline will be so broken to hear that. That is so sad. She was so attached to her father. I must admit, side by side, there is a striking resemblance between mère et fille. Perhaps such flattery is the way to win over Madame van den Bosch. Aw, they're so cute. Why does it look like it's ripped though? It's the Viscount. He's been ripped out of the picture. How strange. The Viscount was also present in the picture, but has been folded out. I did not think there was any hostility between the Major and the late Viscount. Probably just because he wanted to be married to Cassandra. Okay, so 2 of these can be made. Okay. Large sum. High interest rate. Ransom value.
This will not get me any...
Maybe it's this one.
Some
There we
say
go.
lucky get.
So that's what I was thinking too. The Major paid the letter that was addressed to him. He must have been worried enough that something would be released to the public. But what? The Major paid the blackmail ransom.
Another success.
Huh, I would never guessed that one. The hidden photos of them along with Angeline's attachment to him proves he cared deeply for them. Oh, okay. The Major cared about Cassandra and Angeline. What happened? Okay, wait, hang on. Let's go back. It's a little broken. There we go. The Major cared for them.
Is there something
Oh. Maybe
I must
that's why he
act on
paid the
thought and-
ransom? No?
I must take
No?
a different approach if I am...
Oh, okay.
I should not be surprised, but...
I believe the Major would do everything to remain in the comfortable life he is accustomed to. But would he stoop so low as to fake a blackmail letter? I think so. I think so. The Major faked the blackmail?
Things are beginning to...
The evidence shows the Major was not the author of the blackmail letter, because he paid it. The Major was a victim, just like Mademoiselle Angeline. Whoever it is that is penning these letters knows a great deal about many people. I wonder how many more have received similar letters. I think it might be Margot and Archie. You heard it here first. Anything else that I need to do here? Done? Sorted? That one is done already. And then, alrighty. The uncertain connection between the Major and the ransom has been resolved. The Major has been blackmailed. The letters were not written by his hand. What remains unresolved is why the Major was being blackmailed. Two cases of extortion under one roof. The question of their relationship must be asked. The Major's secret is anything but obvious from his letter. I now have a blackmailer and a murderer and their weapon to find. If the correct process is followed, they shall all be found swiftly. But the correct process has not been followed. I should take my leave. This room has already revealed enough new insight into the Madame's and Major's lives. Okay.
Detective Poirot, I have been asked to inform you that Lady Van den Bosch has returned to her room, and she wishes not to be disturbed.
She is also acting very sketchy, but she's been sketchy from the start.
Merci. Madame certainly has mastered the art of subtlety.
They may not be the exact words she used, but I'm sure you can imagine. Excuse me, I have some further duties to attend to in the pantry.
I have massive question marks about you, Archie. I think you run this house. Perhaps I should take this opportunity to search the top floor. Now there is no one to disturb me. There is one room that holds particular interest. I should inspect the storage room while I have this rare opportunity. The storage room? Where's the storage room? Cassandra's bedroom? Painting? Angeline and Gideon's bedroom? Collection of books? Nice.
Huh.
I could spend every waking moment reading about the adventures of the characters within these books. Mystery novels. Nice. Ooh, telescope. What is it looking out on?
Aha.
Gazing at the stars is truly one of life's simple pleasures. Oh, I thought that it would be like a spying telescope. A spyglass, you know. You know, it is called a spyglass. So, the Major's bedroom. So, oh, storeroom here. Right. Righto. Relatively clean. Children's toys? A collection of children's toys, such a shame to see them stored away and not being enjoyed. Considering they have been kept in a storage room, they're all in almost perfect condition. My immediate assumption would be they belong to Mademoiselle Angeline. Maybe someone is keeping them in good condition. Maybe someone's playing with them. Maybe there's a child somewhere. Maybe the Major and Cassandra had a child. The time and skill it takes to build such a wonderful piece. It's an art form. Nothing else. Oh, there's a book. What's this book? A lone storybook rests here. It has obviously been read a great number of times, judging by the condition of the spine and pages. I am perhaps not the target demographic, but I understand it to be quite popular amongst the younger audience. To the real lady of the house, happy birthday! Watching you grow into a proper young lady has been more than words can describe. All my love, Felix, the real lady of the house? I would not have expected to find such a heartfelt message written by Monsieur Hagen and to Mademoiselle Angeline. Is this the usual inscription you would find from a family friend? Monsieur Hagen. Who's Hagen? Forgot. I cannot seem to get a straight answer from anyone regarding the Major. I know he has been friends with Madame van den Bosch for some years, but I must find out if it was anything more. Investigate the Major's relationship with the family. Oh, so many things. Okay. The Major resided with the family for a long time. High interest rate?
Magnifique.
Sometimes these things just don't make any sense to me. It seems the Major has lived rather comfortably in the Van den Bosch house for many years. Talk to Angeline about it? Okay. Shame. Perhaps it is time to speak to Mademoiselle Angeline again. She should be able to give us the valuable pieces of this puzzle. Oh, she's right here. Hey. It's like you know.
Detective Poirot, are you any closer to uncovering the truth of Felix's involvement with the letters?
I am, mademoiselle. I can confirm that he was not the author of the blackmail letters.
Maybe it was Cassandra that was the author.
So the author is still out there.
She is selling stuff, so maybe... Interesting.
Oui, but it will not be long before they are apprehended, and the only letters they shall be penning will be from behind iron bars.
Ha ha ha!
Your confidence is rather assuring. Thank you, Detective.
Whoa, so many things. Oh my goodness, okay. Your comment about the current guest stayed with me last night.
I'm sorry, Detective. I did not intend to leave your mind so full of thoughts.
No apology is required. It actually made me question my whole chain of thinking. What if there had been a collusion between them, and the Major's murder was planned, organized, and orchestrated to make the investigation seem almost impossible?
Yep.
Oh my, Detective, that is quite a theory.
Every guest has a motive. You confirmed that with the mention of Mademoiselle Conrad and the Major's fight. Supplying one another with a rock-solid alibi would surely throw off any detective.
Yep.
But not you.
Nope.
Correct, mademoiselle. It would take much more to stamp Detective Poirot.
Oh, he's so cute and proud. While searching the storage room, I found a book that I assume was a gift from the Major to you.
I haven't seen that book in so long.
Aww.
Yes, it was a gift for my 10th birthday. I have read it from cover to cover countless times. He left such a lovely inscription too.
Aww, she's so sweet when she speaks about him.
To the Major I did not get to see. Was it common for him to bring you gifts?
Not common, but if he had been away for some time, he would bring me a small memento from his travels. He hasn't done that in some time, though.
Yeah, because he's broke. The toys that were in the book, were they, with the book, were they also gifts from the Major?
They were. I'm afraid they may have gathered some dust being in the storage room for so long. I kept them in hope of giving them to my child when the time comes.
That's sweet.
It sounds as though he had always cared about you.
His presence at the house was comforting for us both after Father died, even if sometimes he was a little too overprotective.
You spoke last night of the Major's support of your maman.
That's right. Ever since I can remember, Felix has been around.
It seems as though she has a number of support networks. The Major, her friendship with the Countess, not forgetting Monsieur da Silva.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? She has a lot of strings that she's pulling.
Maman has many friends. I know how she may seem to most, but once you break the hard shell...
There is a further shell waiting to be broken.
Oh, very good, Detective.
Forgive me, mademoiselle. I only jest.
Nah, she's terrible. No, go ahead.
It's quite alright. You are not the only one who the tongue. She's grateful you are here, especially now, whether she shows it or not.
For sure not. She does not show it. I'm still yet to see this version of Madame that Mademoiselle Angeline speaks of. I'm not sure I will get my hopes up for a budding friendship. No, for sure no. Speaking with the Comtesse yesterday, she did not have the greatest opinion of the Major.
They have often come to blows when it concerns Maman. They are both trying to protect her, but they themselves cannot seem to get along.
She spoke of his desire to join the, how do you describe it? Social elite.
This isn't the first time she has vocalized that concern. She thinks the Major was just using our family name to make his way to the top.
Don't think she's the only one.
And you do not agree?
I will not deny he has shown interest in Maman's social circles, but they have been friends since even before I was born. Surely all those years of friendship was not just to raise his social standing.
No, it's because he was in love with your mother. Mademoiselle Angeline obviously does not believe what the Comtesse had to say about the Major. Perhaps it is jealousy that drives her scandalous theory. Maybe. If I may be so bold, did the Major contribute to the house?
How do you mean, detective?
I imagine a house of this size is rather costly, keeping it in the immaculate condition it is in.
Especially with the servants and stuff.
Maman looks after the financial side of the house, but I think she has had to ask him more than once for a contribution of sorts. It is not for me to get involved.
Yeah, it's better you don't, I think.
I shall not keep you any longer. Merci.
I have everything that is needed to push Madame Van der Bosch on her secret, but do you have the key to her room? Do you really want to go to her room now? If it's in the interest of justice, then she needs to just swallow her pride, and I need to talk to her. She's gonna shout at us. She's gonna be so mad. Why is it so dark in here? What's going on, bro? So creepy. Hello.
Detective Poirot, what do you think you are doing in here?
An investigation.
I have something I wish to discuss with you.
Well, I hope it is important enough to justify barging into one's bedroom.
Yeah.
I assure you it is.
Good, because this has gone on far too long. We are snowed in this house while a murderer runs amok.
Because you're not being
I
honest.
can understand your frustrations, but it is not as simple.
You were once an incompetent officer, and now it seems you are just as incompetent as a detective.
If I was not being lied to and misled at every turn, perhaps the murderer would already be in custody.
I hope you are not suggesting I had something to do with Felix's murder.
No, but you're not being truthful.
I am suggesting that if I had the support that everyone claims they are offering, we would be in a very different situation.
If you have something you want to ask, I suggest you ask me now.
I was not aware the Major had been so close with your daughter.
We met before Angeline was born, so he was often at the house when she was growing up.
And where was it you two met?
I was attending an event. Felix was also in attendance as a serving officer. A conversation was struck.
So it was not through the Viscount that you two met?
I did not require my husband to start conversations on my behalf.
Yes, but you
It
lied.
was you that instigated it then.
My, detective. That active imagination of yours has taken you on quite some journey.
It's not just imagination. Madame is attempting to deflect from a subject she obviously does not feel comfortable discussing. Okay. The late Viscount and the Major were surely friends then?
Edwin spent much of his time away on business before Angeline was born. Felix was a welcome distraction from the loneliness of the house.
You were alone in the house.
The staff continued their duties, of course, but trying to get any sort of sophisticated or cultured conversation from them was like drawing blood from a stone.
You're so rude.
And when Angeline was born?
Edwin remained at home. It was his duty as a father.
And the Major?
He had his own business and life to tend to, but we remained in touch via letter. Around the time of Edwin's passing, Felix had relocated to the area.
Madame is incredibly coy and brief with the information she offers, but with the Viscount's death coinciding with the Major's return, surely a mere coincidence is too far-fetched. That's what I was thinking, too. I would like to ask you about a letter I found in the Major's study.
I'm sure he has hundreds of letters in there. Most of them could and should have been thrown away a long time ago. You are going to have to be more specific.
Why do you know about all of the letters? There was literally someone like rummaging through the...
I refer to the letter addressed to you. The one of a romantic nature.
Romantic nature? Oh, please, detective. Felix did not have a romantic bone in his body.
This is why I'm struggling to do this investigation, because you're not being truthful.
He made his intentions quite clear in the letter. I must admit I myself was surprised.
You really do have quite the active imagination, Detective. If that is how you wish to interpret it, so be it. But I can assure you, the Major did not think of me that way, and certainly did not include it in a letter.
There's been multiple letters where people talk about it that... Oh my gosh.
I think that is all for now.
You are insufferable, my goodness. I cannot stand this woman, she's so annoying. Oh, this? I
Another
thought
success.
I was gonna do that
I
one.
never doubted.
It is obvious that the Major cared for Cassandra. That is no surprise to anyone. Yeah. Okay, and then this one.
I should not be surprised by my own
I shouldn't.
skills of
Oh, sorry. With the Viscount gone, the Major stepped up and acted as a fatherly figure to her. Oh, that's very sweet. Shame. Yeah, I think he was trying to be kind, but he was doing it in a bit of a strange fashion.
Really necessary?
Yes! Be quiet and answer my questions. If you're correct and the Major had no romantic feelings towards you, why would he keep a photograph of you and Mademoiselle Angeline hidden?
He may have stayed in my home, but Felix was a grown man, Detective. What he kept, hidden or otherwise, has nothing to do with me.
Dude, can you please just be
But
honest?
it does not surprise you that he had such a photograph?
We have been friends, and he has been there for Angeline for many years, but you find it strange that he keeps a reminder of us? Perhaps that says more about you, Detective.
What I do find strange is that if he did hold a flame for you, why he would never express it.
If he did, it was not reciprocated. I have not even considered another since my husband's passing. Not that it is any of your business.
I don't understand.
I think that is all for now.
She's too much. She is too much. What did I just learn? Cassandra has no romantic feelings.
What a revelation!
Okay. As much as she tries to deny it, Cassandra shared the Major's feelings in some capacity. I think so too. I have to talk to her again about this.
Is this really...
Shh. Push on why Cassandra has housed the Major for so long. Okay, we need to be very careful with this.
Who I allow in my house is none of your business. I do not have to explain anything to you.
I did not think you were one for charity.
I would not expect you to think much of anything. There is no need to talk on it any further, but I'm sure you will remember that, financially speaking, we have had our issues.
Yep, I do remember. I have all the evidence I need to confront Madame Van den Bosch. It is my approach to the questions that I must consider. She will no doubt be defensive when pushed, but that may be the only way, as she will not give up any information she does not want to easily. And yet you allowed the Major to reside here, even without contributing? Why is it you protect the name of Monsieur Hagen so resolutely? Either way, it's quite... Let's do this one.
Need I repeat myself,
Oopsie.
Detective? There is no need to talk any more on this. Men and women can remain friends without any romantic involvement. I'm sure you are aware of that.
Yes, but when there are so many letters and stuff written all over the place about him being romantically involved.
Your insistent questioning on such trivial matters are getting on my last nerve.
Antagonizing his declarations of love meant nothing to you then? Judging by the Major's words in the letter, it was not only one that he sent declaring his love, n'est-ce pas?
Your continued probing into something that does not exist is becoming quite tiresome. There is nothing I can tell you that will magically present what you are looking for, Detective.
Oh no, I'm messing this up.
I have grown weary of this conversation, Poirot.
There is something about your relationship that you are obviously refusing to elaborate on. The love letters, the housing. Your continued reluctance to answer my questions and defensive nature suggests that there was a shared love between you.
Madame, you continue to withhold the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you continue to get on my last nerve. I am not obliged to tell you every detail of my private
You are when there was a murder.
But when it impedes my investigation.
Believe what you wish. You clearly have no idea what you're talking about.
Ugh, gross.
My personal life has nothing to do with your investigation. I don't know how else it can be said. Keep your nose out of my business.
I failed. Okay.
Who I allow in my house,
I did not think you were one for charity.
I would not expect you to.
Okay, so now I know that I need to be
He
more
was a man
forceful.
that required no protection.
There we go.
Detective, especially from me.
I
That
get
is
to
the
go
impression
again.
I had of him, which is why your defensive stance warrants questioning.
Your insistent questioning on such trivial matters are getting on my last nerve.
Okay,
How many times do I have to tell you? There was no romantic feelings between us. I have grown weary of this
and then last one.
Madame, you continue to withhold the truth.
and you continue to get on my...
But when it impedes my
If only you were this focused on finding the blackmailer and...
Madame.
Very well. I did not lie about how we met. I was attending an event, raising money for... Oh, I cannot recall now.
Oh, why does it matter what the common people want?
It had been some time since I had returned home, and was rather missing English soil. I was aware of Felix's invitation, or at least that there was to be several British officers attending the party, and that is where our friendship began.
Mm-hmm.
He was a warm reminder of home, and I enjoyed conversing with him. We shared walks in the park and read together. As I said, he was a welcome distraction from the days spent alone.
Mm-hmm.
I shall go no further with the details, but I will say, I had no intention on being unfaithful to my husband. It was never our plan to go that far. Once I found out I was pregnant, I knew it had to stop.
Oh my gosh.
The Viscount never questioned Mademoiselle's birth?
In his mind, he had no reason to, and he shouldn't have had to. It was my mistake to bear. If he knew the truth, our lives would have been ruined.
So that's the information that the blackmailer has on them, probably.
I told Felix that he was to stay away, but he had no intention to. He became an uncle figure to Angeline, and they grew closer after Edwin's death.
But he's actually her father?
I could not tell her the truth. Too much time had passed.
Oh my
The
gosh.
secret remained only between him and I.
Drama.
And what were the Major's thoughts on revealing the truth?
He wanted to tell her everything. He wanted her to
Yeah,
know
of
exactly
course.
who he was. But I told him no. It would not have been the poignant reconciliation that he expected. She would not understand.
Tell me about the letters.
I tried to retrieve them from the safe after everyone had retired last night. But when I opened the safe, they were nowhere to be found. I assumed he must have hidden them somewhere else.
I think someone else was in there.
When I entered the study this morning, they were as visible as a red notice on a police station wall.
I would appreciate if you did not compare them to the face of a wanted felon.
Yeah, maybe have a little bit more poise.
Pardon, madame.
But that does mean someone else in the house has seen them. I don't understand. Why would they return them?
I think it might be the Comtesse. Maybe she has some involvement because maybe she liked the Major, or maybe she was in love with the Viscount and she wanted to be with him, and she wanted to show the Viscount the whole relationship between the Major and Cassandra. Maybe? I don't
A
know.
mystery that is still yet to be...
Madame was beaten to the safe by another. It seems we also have a thief within these walls to add to the list of criminals, but a thief that returns his spoils. Can I assume this is a secret that has been used for ransom?
It must be. But I have told no one.
And the Major?
Felix promised me he wouldn't tell a soul, and I believed him. What, even if he wanted to?
If the Major had let slip even once throughout the years, perhaps in an intoxicated state, it is a secret that many would seek an opportunity to gain from.
You did
for
not
sure.
think anyone knew, and that is why you disregarded the letter.
If you bow to these criminals, they will only try to claw more from you.
I guess, but you also need to be careful.
I think that is all for now. Merci, madame.
I think when the news came out, she probably should have just told Angeline, and then Angeline would have known, and then if it came out, then at least like the close family wouldn't be in like immediate trouble or anything. The uncertain connection between the Major and the ransom has been resolved. The Major was being blackmailed. The letters were not written by his hand. What remains unresolved is why the Major was being blackmailed. 2 cases of extortion under one roof. The question of their relationship must be asked. The Major's secret is anything but obvious from his letter. I now have a blackmailer and a murderer and their weapon to find. If the correct process is followed, they shall be found swiftly. I should take my leave. This room has already revealed enough new sightings into the Madame's and the Major's lives. Alrighty. Righto. I had my suspicions that Madame van der Bosch and the Major shared a romantic relationship, but I did not expect the revelation of his connection to Mademoiselle Angeline. I am now one of the very few that hold Madame's secret, and we shall keep it. Yes, we shall keep it. Ah, my goodness. What drama to unfold, my goodness. Okay. Yes, what do you want?
Detective Poirot, how is your investigation
I
coming?
don't trust you.
Monsieur Sterling, I must admit, I have learned much more than I was expecting to.
You'll be wrapping the case up soon, then.
Yeah, the fact that he wants us out the whole time just makes me feel like he's a little sketchy, you
One has
know.
never finished learning, monsieur. And in this case, I shall need to continue if I am to find the Major's killer.
It might help to vocalize your thinking. I'm all ears.
Of course you want to know. Monsieur Sterling offers an interesting concept. If I was to state the current position of my investigation while holding back certain truths, the guilty parties may realize I am hot on their heels and reveal their hand.
Monsieur,
Ooh.
would you gather the guests and staff in the salon?
Right away, Detective. Can I ask for what reason?
I shall reveal all once everyone is together.
Ooh, so exciting! We have discovered some serious drama happening, some serious secrets, and it's very frustrating that everyone is keeping their secrets to themselves instead of like telling us what's going on. But I think that Poirot is onto something. I think that he might know how to get things out of people, and I'm excited to see how we do that. So stay tuned for the next episode. And if at any point in this video I made you smile or made your day just a little bit brighter, then please consider giving this video a like. And if you would like to see similar content, I played the ABC Murders by Agatha Christie as well. It was absolutely amazing. You can go check that out on my channel. Once you're there and you feel like subscribing, then please feel free to do so. I hope that you have had a very good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!